What's up guys, and welcome to today's video. I've put together for you 2 short and intense routines which you can do either at home or in a hotel room if you're ever in the situation where you don't have access to a gym or you simply just don't have time. You just need to do something quick and intense and get it out of the way, okay? No excuses why you can't do this. All you're gonna need is the assistance of a chair and a plastic bag. The rest of it's just gonna come from your body weight. So let's get started. So we're going to start off the routine with some foot elevated press ups. Just going to keep it simple at 10 reps. Some people are going to find this really difficult, other people will find it quite easy, so it's really down to your experience in terms of training. I want you to go all the way down to the ground, so almost to the point where your chest touches the ground. Don't try and push your head forward to try and make it easier for yourself. I know all the tricks in the books. I want to make this as hard as possible. The next one we're going to go on to is a sliding leg curl. So I'm guessing quite a lot of you guys have never done this one before. You're going to need the assistance of a plastic bag or anything else which is going to glide across a carpet. What you're going to do, you're going to drive your elbows into the ground for stability, and you're going to have the intention of curling or sliding that plastic bag towards you. As you slide it towards you, I want you to thrust your hips up and squeeze your hamstrings as much as possible at the top of the movement. If you do struggle with getting 10 reps, then it's fine to reduce the rep range to 6 or 8. Just do what you can for now. The next exercise we're going to move into is a lying windscreen wiper. So this is going to be really good for your core. What you'll need to do is put your hands underneath a sturdy object. So you can see I'm using the sofa. You could use a bed or anything else which basically isn't going to move. Okay, and what I want you to do is just wave your feet and your legs from side to side. Try and keep your legs straight, but a little bend in the knee is going to be alright. If you do really struggle with this exercise, then you can fully bend the knee at 90 degrees. Breathing is going to be a little bit tough with this one, so just take your time with it and try and exhale each time you move your legs up. And it's fine for your elbows to come off the ground. Don't try and keep them stuck there because you're going to find the movement really quite awkward. Next, we're going to move on to a tricep push-up. So this one may be quite advanced. I want you to try and keep your elbows tucked in as much as you possibly can do, so it's almost like they're touching your torso. So we're trying to aim for shortening the angle at the elbow as much as possible and then pushing up and contracting the tricep at the top of the movement. So again, try and keep this one really slow, controlled, aim for maximum range of motion. Next, we're going to move on to a cross-legged leg raise. So you're going to cross one of your legs, rest it on your knee, and then you're going to raise that straight leg and thrust up slightly at the top of the movement. So you're going to feel a little bit more tension on one side of your core and your hip flexor. I want you to exhale as you lift that leg up, okay? So push everything out of your lungs and then inhale at the bottom of the movement. You're going to do 10 reps on one leg and then you're going to switch over and repeat. Then the last exercise of this little circuit is going to be burpees. Yes, I know burpees suck, but they are good for you. If you're good enough, strong enough, willing, then I recommend doing the push-up variation of the burpee where you go all the way down into the press-up position, the bottom of the press-up position, and explode up, jumping as high as you possibly can do. If you find it a little bit too challenging, don't worry, you don't have to go into the press-up position, but just try and just do a burpee, okay? If you want to make it a little bit more challenging for yourself, you can do more than 10 reps, do 15, do 20, it's completely up to you. So after that first circuit, I want you to get your breath back. Now, how long it's going to take for you to recover is going to depend upon your level of fitness and conditioning, but ultimately I want you to rest to the point where you are no longer gasping for air. At this point, I then want you to go into the second routine. So this second routine is going to begin with a traditional push-up, nothing too fancy, but I do want you to make this as hard as possible for yourself. No sloppy reps, okay? I want you to go all the way down to the ground, chest to the ground, keep your head up, full range of motion, really trying to maximize the amount of tension which you're placing upon your chest. We're then going to move on to a Bulgarian split squat. So this is basically where you're elevating your back leg. So you can just put that back leg either on a bed or on a chair, as you can see. Now the intention with this is to try and place as much tension as possible on the front leg. So all of your body weight on that front leg. Try not to lean back. Very slowly go into the movement. Go as deep as you can without your other knee touching the ground, and then drive up without trying to lock out. Okay, I don't want you to rest at the top of the movement. We're trying to keep the tension constant throughout the entire set. We're then going to move into tricep dips. Nice and smooth, nice and controlled, no crazy movements. I don't want you to lock out at the top of the movement either. I want you to just go nice and slowly down into the bottom and then back up to the top. The next exercise we're going to move into is a single leg hip thrust. So I want you to put one foot on a chair or an elevated surface, so dig that heel into whatever surface it is. I also want you to dig both your elbows into the ground for stability, and you're basically just going to thrust up as high as you possibly can do and squeeze. Okay, so since my left leg is on the chair, I'm going to thrust up and squeeze my left glute as much as possible at the top of the movement. After that, we're going to move straight into a crunch. So with this one, I really want you to control your breathing. So as you are at the bottom of the movement, take a deep breath, and then as you begin to contract and lift up, I want you to exhale. So basically at the top of the movement, your lungs should be empty or close to being empty. The final exercise we're going to move on to is squat jumps. So you're basically going to get as deep as possible, explode up and jump as high as you possibly can do, whilst landing as safe and as soft as possible. So 10 to 15 reps, maybe even more depending how much you've got in the tank, but these will definitely leave you out of breath. So those are the routines. It's going to roughly take you 4 minutes to complete each of them. So how many times you repeat each circuit is going to be down to how much free time you have. So if you've got 30, 40 minutes spare, then you can repeat them a couple of times. If you only have 10, 15 minutes spare, then maybe you can only do them once or twice. But hey, you know, the more you do them, the better, but it's better than doing absolutely nothing at all. Hope you've enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you have. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon.